Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Constance the Reader, and it's time for a wrap up. So February, it's almost over, shortest month of the year. I had this huge, ambitious, situation going on in the beginning of the month, and it didn't, I did not read everything I said I wanted to read, but that's okay. I read a lot, and I'm happy with what I did, especially in my birthday month, and I had a great birthday indeed. So, Naruto TBR challenge. I passed it, obviously. I had 4 cards. 2 of them were your choice. One of the books I read was The Last Flight by Julie Clark. Another one was a modern retelling of a classic, and that was Pride, Prejudice, and Other Flavors by Sonali Dev. Finish a box set you haven't finished, and that was One Piece box set 2. And another your choice, which was Savvy Sheldon Feels Good as Hell by Taj McCoy. So, bam. We'll get into, picking the cards in the next video. I want to try to keep this quick because I read a lot of manga. That's why it wasn't like, it was productive, but, I didn't read everything I said that was like a regular physical book, and that's okay. But I felt I should mention it. So let's get right into all of the manga I read. As I said, I finished the box set of One Piece. I read volumes 35 through 46, like 12 volumes, and that was the rest of the Water 7 arc. Getting into the next one, which I cannot remember what the new arc is called, but I just met Brooke for the first time, so it's okay. So far, so good. I like the second box set. I do feel like the Water 7 arc, it did kind of drag a bit, but this was a really good box set. This was a good series. This was a good arc. Cried at least twice. It was nice to see the backstory of Robin. That was extremely sad. Robin is a really great character, and I really do like her. And then what happens with the Go? I was kind of spoiled on what happens to the Go on TikTok, which is fine with me. As I've said before, I like spoilers. They don't bother me. But I didn't know that happened in the Water 7 arc. So I still have a fresh memory of that TikTok of what happens and the voice of Go. So I cried. I actually couldn't finish. I think that was volume 44. I could not finish those final pages of the volume because I could hear the voice in my head. Since I'm not watching the anime like my husband, that's the first time I've heard, there you go, so lots of emotions, definitely sad, but also so far so good. I'm liking it so far, but I do think I'm not going to read the 3rd box set in the month of March. I'm going to give myself a break from One Piece and read something different. I did post a poll on Instagram and YouTube, Twitter. If you want to vote on what I should read next, it's between Claymore and Fullmetal Alchemist. But yes, One Piece so far so good. Next up, I read the 3rd volume of Sakamoto Days. Again, going really well. I just recently picked up the 6th volume, which is the newest one that came out in the month of February. I'm still liking it. I'm not really sure where we're even going with this, like where we could possibly end with Sakamoto Days, but I'm enjoying myself. This was a really cool volume. It was very fun. And yeah, that's really it. Just kind of slowly making my way. As I think I mentioned before, this may be being turned into an anime soon. I'm going to recommend my husband watch it because I think it's funny. And probably, I think that when this series is over, this is probably going to go in my top 10 favorite manga, honestly. And I already anticipate that I will rate the whole thing 5 stars. Just saying. Skip and Loafer. So I read volumes 3, 4, 5, and 6. I am really enjoying the series so much. I think it was a good thing to pick up. It's lighthearted. It's really fun. It's stuff that a lot of us can relate to, trying to navigate high school and your friendships, your relationships, who you like, who you might not like, finding yourself. And I think that's been the fun part about this, is that it is really relatable. Some people I like more than others. If you've read it, I think you know who I'm probably not going to like so much. But I enjoy it, and I would highly recommend Skip and Loafer. Give it a read. So far, it's only 6 volumes. This is the most recent one that came out, either at the beginning of this month or sometime in January. I can't remember. But it's good. It's worth a read, I promise you. Give it a try. You will like it. All right, so for the nonfiction books I did finish Nicole Byer's Very Fat, Very Brave. This one's hard to rate because it is mostly pictures. So she and her friend went around, I think it's LA, California, and took pictures of her in all of the bikinis and bathing suits that she owns, which I thought was really cool. Honestly, all the pictures are fantastic. Her friend did a great job Like, some of these are just so cute. I love her bathing suits. I like her tips. I think she's very, very funny, and a lot of her, like, these are just two people that at the pier that she took a picture with. um, I just loved it. I thought it was really good, but it's hard to rate it because there's a lot more text at the very beginning of the book, and then we just kind of go straight into pictures. But in general, I liked it. I think it was good. I would say I would rate this 4 stars, but it's really short. It's a quick and easy thing to get through. So if you want something that is fun and kind of affirming for you, I would recommend this. Nicole Byer is very funny, and I loved her photos. Next, I finally finished Fat Girls in Black Bodies, Creating Communities of Our Own by Joy Arlene Renee Cox, PhD. This was great. As I said, I wanted to start this back in November for Nonfiction November. I just wasn't in the mood for it. I kept picking it up on and off, and I finally knocked it out. Tried to annotate a bit. I'm still trying to get good at that, and you know, I'm not the best. I know I'm not the best at this, but in general, I really did like the book, and I'm not really sure why I'm ruffling through it right now. I thought it was really good. I rated this 4.5 stars, 5 stars. I think it's a really good, like, memoir, kind of a part of like a little bit of essays, some interviews, but just overall a short, quick read that was really good. I would recommend. Next up, so I only have like 2 hours left of this audiobook. So I kind of just wanted to put it in here. I know I'm not technically finished, but I'm going to finish it, okay? And that is Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in the Blood and Ash series. I didn't watch a lot of people talk about their opinions of the series in general. Like, I heard things on and off. This obviously kicked up the sex. I didn't really understand in the first book why people were like, Of Blood and Ash is like on their smut list, because I mean, there was like lots of like yearning, you know, nothing like kicked off until the very end where it's a little in the desert. This one, oh my God, oh lordy, it is hot. They haven't even like yet. I mean, it's all just heavy petting, you know what I'm saying? I get it, but what I have, all of what I said before to say, I think I might just stick with the first 3 books that I have. It's a series because there's some more, and I've heard that at some point they don't really remain that good. So, you know, so far I'm liking this. I would say this is probably 3 stars. I'm enjoying it. They're gonna get married. A lot's happening, but then like not a lot's happening, I guess. But it's good. I like it. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a good audiobook. I know I couldn't get through it if I were reading it physically, but you know, this was a cover buy, so I have to, you know, play that for you. So yeah, 3 stars so far. I think by the end of me listening to the audiobook, it'll be a 3-star read. So nowhere near like bad, but you know, I'm going to keep reading it. But you know, it's not the best thing I've ever read, but it's pretty good. All right. And next up is The Last Flight by Julie Clark. So I would have that book to hold for you, but I gave it to my mom. I liked that book. That was 5 stars for me. So that was a Book of the Month Club book I've had, I think, since 2020. I think it was one of the first books I chose when I signed up for the subscription box. And even though I'm happy I read it now, I actually wish I'd read it when I first got it, because that was a good fucking book. It is following 2 different women. They are both in some very serious situations, and they have to flee. One is fleeing from the police and, you know, a drug dealer and some other instances, and the other one is fleeing from an abusive husband, and they happen to meet in an airport, and they swap like plane information and tickets, and they get on each other's planes, and from there assuming each other's lives, discovering what's really going on deeper, and that was amazing. Super fast paced. It kicks off immediately. And then from there, you see present day what's going on with one of the women, and then you see the past. I think it was like five or 6 months before they swap everything. You see her backstory. So it's, oh man, I can't remember her name. It's Ava and something else, Claire, I think. So Claire is present day, Ava is looking at it from the past. So you can see like what led up to what happened. And at first I really was like, not feeling Ava's stuff. Like, I know that that was important to the story, but at the same time, I was like, I don't really care. But then when we got the little, oh, the twist, like we find out something, I was like, okay, now I really, really have to pay attention to Ava's stuff. Claire's, oh my God, it was so much. Her whole story is wild. I was loving it. I hope this gets turned into a movie because I liked her twist too. And by the end, I cried. When I found out what happened in the end, I was sobbing on the phone to my sister. Like, I'm actually surprised I kept it together as much as I did when I was on the phone with my sister talking about it. That was fantastic. So yes, I would recommend Read the Last Flight by Julie Clark. It was very good. I mean, for a fast-paced kind of thriller mystery, I think it was good. I think it lived up to what it was supposed to be. And because it was so fast-paced, I really, really liked that. There was no kind of like waiting for like all of these extended chapters, like, oh, what's gonna happen? They let me know, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I was very happy. I liked it. Next up, I read Pride, Prejudice, and Other Flavors by Sonali Dev. That one, I can't remember what I rated it on Goodreads, but I would say probably like 4 stars. I listened to it as an audiobook on Hoopla, and it was really, really good. I liked the audiobook. I have never read Pride and Prejudice, and I never watched the movie. So I understand that DJ is Darcy. I've heard that Mr. Darcy is a really unlikable character from the book and the movie. He was really, really plucking my nerves sometimes. He really had me annoyed. Trisha, I liked her. She pissed me off too, though. She definitely had her unlikable moments. But overall, I thought it was really good. I don't really know how to explain the book. There was a lot going on. So Trisha, she is a neurosurgeon. She is brilliant. She has created the tech to like do brain surgery. She's a genius. DJ is a chef from the UK, and he is fantastic. He is a genius in his field as well. They meet unexpectedly, and it's a terrible first impression that I didn't understand why DJ just would not let it go. Granted, she continued to put her foot in her mouth, and it doesn't matter if you didn't intend to offend someone. If you offended someone, you were offensive, period. He never just like said that to her. Like, basically it was like a huge communication breakdown all the time with them. It was so frustrating. But DJ at one point does recognize, like, why am I not like why am I still so angry at her? What is it about her that's making me angry? Especially because he's met every single person in her family and likes every other person in her family. So I just found it interesting that like he was never willing to kind of hear her out, even though he has all these great experiences with everyone else in her family. And they've even said to him, look, like, she's not really like that. You know, she just gets really nervous. He just refused several times to hear her out, and that pissed me off. Trisha, as I said, a genius. She created the tech to help with brain surgery, and everybody treated her, many people in her family treated her like she was an idiot. Nobody wanted, certain people, her father, didn't want to, oh my God, her father was a piece of shit. He really pissed me off. I feel like her mother gaslighted her towards the end of the book. I'm glad that kind of worked out, but her mother was definitely gaslighting her. Because it's something that happened when she was in college, even though it wasn't her fault. It was the fault of the person who committed the crime, okay? Just because she happened to know the person and introduced them to this other person in her family, somehow the crime that person committed that had nothing to do with Trisha was somehow Trisha's fault. And her father would never let her forget it. She stopped coming around the family because he was an asshole. And I just feel like not a lot of people defended her. It was just really hard to read when it came to that. And okay, now let me not get into it too much of a rant, because you know I could go on and on. But overall, if that's like the progression of what happened in Pride and Prejudice, I get it. I get why people like that book. And honestly, I liked this. And it's a series, so the next 2 books follow the other siblings in her family. I think one is her brother and one is her cousin. So anyway, it was really good. I liked the ending. By the end, I really liked DJ. I thought he was really, really cool. He just had his moment. You know what I mean? Trisha, she also had her moment. She made some poor decisions, but I think that she learned a lot, which is good. And I'm done. Like I said, I'm going to read the rest of the series. I liked it. And the last book I read was Savvy Sheldon Feels Good as Fuck, Good as Hell. I wrote 2 different things down by Taj McCoy. I listened to this as an audiobook on Hoopla. I thought it was a pretty good audiobook. I would say I probably would rate that one a 3-star. It's kind of predictable. I mean, it's a romance. You know, sometimes they can be. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So Savvy, she's successful. She's beautiful. She's making money. She's got her own house. She's got her own car. I mean, she's good. She's good. She's catch, okay? She's also plus size. So what? Well, she's dating a bum. Truly a bum. Can't remember his name. Definitely wanted to this man because he had the nerve to make comment about her body. Had the nerve to eat her food when he didn't have a job, and then broke up with her after eating a full meal. If there's one thing a man will have, it is the audacity, because you could not come over knowing you're going to break up with me, eat my food, and then peace out. Fuck you. Hell no. That really pissed me off. Anyway, her boyfriend was a bum, okay? But of course, he was cruel to her, so it made her feel like, you know what? Even though I have all these great things going for me and I am amazing, let me try to do the revenge body thing, which is totally fine. You know, she starts going out with her friends. She keeps running into this loser who, for some reason, has a new woman on his arm every time. The next victim, basically. The next victim. Ugh. But yeah, she's going out, she's trying to improve her life, and part of the things that she has to improve in her life is her house. It needs to be renovated. Her mom is getting on her because she's like, why are you staying in this house? I think it belonged to someone in her family, and she wanted it when that person passed away. So, you know, she was doing everything that was nice. But she needed a contractor, and guess what? Her new love interest is the contractor. He's a good-looking man. He obviously appreciates her, finds her sexy, all that good stuff. But, like, that's all I can really remember about the book. I can't remember what the, you know, the third act conflict was. Oh, yes, I do. I'm sorry. That's what was annoying to me. She didn't always communicate really well. That was the thing about Savvy. She definitely jumped to conclusions a lot, and I just thought that was really sad because, like, the final issue, obviously, it gets resolved in the end. But it was like, really? You couldn't just hear him out? Like, you had to cut him off and shut him down? I don't know why they do that, but I mean, it's typical of a romance, and that's okay. But that can be really frustrating to me when you have, like, a third act, you know, miscommunication trope, and it's like, we've come so far, why do we have to have that? But anyway, Savvy, I liked her as a character. I like that towards the end she finally kind of got over the whole, like, let me have a revenge body thing. I think she never had an issue with being plus size, but her ex was clearly cruel in the way that he spoke to her and about her. And she ended up, I really liked what she ended up doing. Like, I think that the ending, it was realistic and I liked it, and it didn't end up like having to be super fairy tale-ish, but it still was really, really nice, which I liked. So yeah, I'm definitely going to read something else by that author. I thought it was pretty good, but three stars, not bad whatsoever, but you know, it's a romance. I think it was about 3 stars, 3.5 stars. So yes, hopefully that was a short video. I'm always bad at looking at the clock over there. I forget what time I started. It's fine. But yes, thank you so much for watching my video, everybody. I had a great birthday, by the way. It was very fun. I enjoyed myself. It was nice. It was nice. It was worth it. And I can't wait to show you, you know, all the goodies, because, you know, we did the stream. My husband did not do, like, he did it a little different this time. So he basically did it so anybody who donated money, he would match that. So that, and then it would be doubled, basically. So towards the end of the stream, basically, I have a $561 budget for books. I already took advantage of it. So I have a new box set here, which we will talk about in my haul video. I've got some books behind me, some manga behind me. I bought myself some stuff too. So that didn't really go towards he could have bought them for me, but you know, I just wanted to get it from the right stuff. So you'll be seeing that in March. I'm excited. I had fun. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good day. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you like it, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Follow me on other social media, please. I would enjoy it. And you have a good day. Goodbye.